Good morning, Ed. Brenda, Perry, all my friends. Yeah, I'm just a few minutes early, but I thought I'd get it started. I don't know about you guys, but there's been a lot of changes in the programs as of recently. And so I figure I need to get started a little early in case I muff it up. So I hope that everybody can hear me fine and everything's going well and you can see the ship heading upbound. So what's new with everybody? I hope that everybody survived the election, whether your candidate won or lost. It's over with for another 4 years. And it looks like there's definite changes coming.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Getting old sucks. Hey Brenda, how you doing? Volume needs to go up a little bit. Let me see if I got my volume up as high as it'll go. Is that any better? Cool Cat, good morning. Okay. Well, I've got my microphone over here at full volume, and so maybe that's the issue. I don't know. The I went out and got a ship right at dawn this morning. Dawn keeps coming earlier and earlier because we fell back. Um, and I got it posted. It's posted right now. Hey, Perry Ann. I'll show you my video that I just got done doing. Let me know what you guys think. Wait a second. Stop share. I need to share, but I also need to tell it to share the sound. Okay, there we go. Share. Okay, can you guys see that all right? I'm going to go ahead and start it up. I won't bore you with it, but it was really nice because it was right after dawn. So
Morning, Paul.
hey, good morning. I'm trying to figure out why it won't play this.
What are you trying to play? Your ship video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a buzzy sound.
No, it doesn't want to. Usually I've got a play button, and I don't have one.
That is a JPEG. It looks like it might be a thumbnail.
Can't look down there, Paul. I'm driving 50 miles an hour on the freeway. Kind of a little highway, actually. I've got to get to school early today. I've got we did our Veterans Day assembly online, and there's about a 8-second section that I lost audio. I know why it's not there, so I need to go back and fix it so I can get it to the staff and students this morning.
There we go.
Can you hear it?
Yes.
Yep.
That was right at dawn.
Ooh, nice colors. I am looking down a little bit, dangerously.
Welcome to Paul Murray's Ship Show.
Yep, for the P. Sound P.
Sit back and relax to the tunes and enjoy the stunning visuals of a
Looks much lighter with the sun to your back, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It reflects better, yep. Did you notice that transition that just happened right there? I don't know what's the matter with that Air 2S, but all of a sudden it just, camera goes down and I have to bring it back up.
Throw it in the garbage and fly the Neo.
Well, I have another Air 2S brand new one over here on the counter. Because they keep coming up with recalibrate this, recalibrate that, recalibrate your sensors, recalibrate,
Is that right?
There's the lighthouse. That's the oldest lighthouse on the Great Lakes right there.
How old is it, Paul?
1868.
Paul was there when they built it. Paul was there when they were building it.
What's that? Yeah, I was
I said,
just a
you were there
junior.
when they were building it.
I was just a little guy. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, wake up.
You sound a little stuffed up there, buddy.
I've been stuffed up again for 3 days. It's allergies. I'm not taking my allergy pills because I can't find them. I can't find them at the grocery. They don't have them. I
Wow.
tried a different one. It don't work.
Were they prescription?
No, they weren't. I bought an over the counter cetrizines at a dollar store because I'm not going to pay $14 for them at Walmart. Walmart has them, but the dollar store don't right now. I tried a different one,
There
and it ain't working.
might be a reason that Walmart has them and your dollar store doesn't, because the
Yeah,
cost
'cause-
of them probably went sky high.
I know. They'll have them again. They usually have once a year they run out of them. Usually I have 4 or 5 boxes of them. But I've been giving them to the dog too.
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
yeah, because when he starts acting up, they'll work for him.
no kidding. So it's a family medication.
Yeah. It's a family affair. Time you got to bed last night?
On and off, on and off, on and off. I was up till 4 this morning.
Well, I got to bed at 3. So, what's up, Ryan?
Morning, guys.
Hey Ron, how's it going?
Good, good.
I haven't seen you since the country went to shit. Country's getting better. You came back.
Yeah. Had a interesting visitor this week. Friend of mine that I used to work with the flight program. He was one of our dispatchers and super nice guy, but an old friend of his, he hadn't seen in 19 years. They were in the British military together, and the guy flew over from the UK to come visit him. And then he lives on the eastern side of South Dakota, and he wanted to show him the Black Hills of South Dakota and Wyoming. And so they came over to visit, and we ended up having dinner and drinks, and they stayed over, and it was a nice visit. Enjoyed it.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
Thought you were gonna say that it was interestingly a cougar or a bear or something.
No, it was neat. It was really interesting gentleman, super nice. Yeah. Oh, well, praise the Lord with
Yep.
the election results.
Yeah.
Well, I put out on Facebook, Trump wins, and what time he won, what time they gave it to him. My daughter comes back and hammered me.
No, did
She
he
said,
win?
she says something about it's not just about eggs, it's about respect of women. He don't respect women. You got a daughter and you got a granddaughter, and it's all about respect of women. You know, all to tell him bullshit. Just I'm gonna block you.
Well, the thing of it is if she brings up that
No,
woman stuff,
the proper response
tell her
is to
that
say,
it's up to every state to decide. It isn't up to the federal government.
tell her that you don't want politics to come between family. Politics shouldn't come between family.
Yeah,
Well,
it's not. That's why I didn't say
Tell her
no.
to get a brain, you know?
And I liked her comment, Joe, because she's completely correct
What she's correct about.
about not respecting women, not respecting disability, not respecting.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go.
Donald.
There's all kinds of things that he doesn't do.
Well, I think it's a little bit of both ways on both sides.
I got one of those text messages. I think it was yesterday or the day before, wanting to know if I would
No,
donate. And I said, I replied back, can you promise me that my hopes, my dreams, and aspirations would be fulfilled? And they actually replied back to me. Said, okay, understood.
Go. That's funny.
Well. Apparently that's not a good subject to bring up, politics.
No, no.
No.
What can I get started for you today?
I will have.
Sorry about that, Paul.
That's all right. You know,
All right.
it's like anything else.
Yes. Nope.
Life happens, you know?
Mhm.
Hi, Paul, Joe, Ron.
Morning, Mark.
I can make it worse.
Edward,
No,
Harry, Brenda, Michael,
All right.
Brian,
I got to put in one more once I'm done. But I saw this picture this morning on Facebook. It had a picture of this little baby sleeping with a big smile on his face, and it said, "How I will sleep at night now, not knowing that I don't have to hear that cackle anymore." It was a-
Corey, Dusty.
That's funny. That is funny.
Well, the new goggles are out, aren't they?
Mm.
They came out?
Yep. Ian in
No, that
London.
means, right?
Ian in London put a video out on them today.
That means
The-
that the
220.
Neo should have an update.
What are the new goggles? What change are they?
They're
Cheap.
£229 for the goggles on its own. And you can buy a Flymore package of the Neo, the new goggles, batteries, and the motion controller for £449.
Ron, you
What's
don't
the
fly.
conversion in
PJ.
the conversion in dollars, Mark?
Um,
About 9 million.
Ron,
Sorry,
Ron, do you ever fly your drone with goggles, Ron?
I've tried it a couple times, and I get
I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not into goggles at all either. So
I kind of almost get like spatial disorientation.
yeah.
Yeah.
5 cents.
$295. Echo, what's $449 pounds in dollars? Echo, what's £449 in dollars?
And does that fly the Avata 2, the Avata 1, the Neo?
2
It,
cents.
it should
about
do everything but the
500
Avata 1.
$578.
5
It'll
cents.
work, it'll work with the Avata 2.
And then how about any of the camera drones like the
It hasn't said
Mini
yet.
4?
It hasn't said yet.
Okay.
But it's a single large screen. They're 2 inches deeper, and you can wear them with your glasses on because there's enough room.
Well, that's right. They're really big. They're kind of old school, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that I'll do that. I love the goggles for the Avata 2, even though I don't like the Avata 2.
Well, whatever happened to, there was a company, as I remember, like 3 or 4 years ago, came out with glasses, just regular glasses, that also had little projectors right here that put the image of, like, you plugged into your controller, put the image in the glasses. You didn't
Oh,
have
Epson.
Google.
Wasn't that
was
Epson?
Google, wasn't it?
Epson.
Epson. Yeah, the one to make the printers.
All right.
Hey, I don't hear anything more about those.
No,
Didn't Google Glasses do that as well?
I don't know.
no, I think the Epson glasses were the big famous ones, if I remember right.
Yeah, they were really hot for like about 6 months to a year, and then they dropped off the map.
Yeah.
Mm.
But what was nice about them is you just have your regular glasses, and these glasses either went on the outside, or you just, if you didn't need glasses, you just use those, you know?
Yeah. But I think the whole idea was that you could see where you're flying
Right.
with that little
And
projection of
around
the
you,
glasses.
peripheral. Yep.
But then you could also look above and beside you and see your surroundings.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah, that
So you
is the
guys in my
main
pocket.
difference between the goggles 3 and them, the screen, and also the fact that it doesn't have the extra cameras to allow you to look around outside, which is obvious to keep the price down.
And Mark, I don't know if you heard earlier, like right before you come on, I had a visitor from your neck of the worlds.
All right.
Yeah, a couple days ago. A friend of mine here in the States was in the British military with him, and they hadn't seen each other in 19 years. And Mark came over. His name was Mark as well. So he came over to visit, and they came over to my house and got to meet him and spend the day with the two of them and show them around the Black Hills. And yeah, he was a super nice guy.
Good.
Really enjoyed talking to him and hearing things, and we got to show him a lot of the history here, like here in just around Wyoming and South Dakota, you know, the Devil's Tower, Mount Rushmore, places like that. He truly enjoyed it.
Mm. Whereabouts in England was he from? Do you know?
I want to say around London,
All right.
if I remember correctly. Yeah.
So he'd be closer to where David lives.
Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed talking to him. They got here kind of late. Well, yeah, they got here kind of late, and then as soon as they got here, I wanted to show them a few things locally before it got dark, and then by the time we come back, and I'm like, oh, I bet you there's Mark and David and them are probably on pause, but then your show had just ended, and I was gonna introduce you to them.
Mm. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I just thought I'd pop in and say hi for a couple minutes.
You got to work today?
No, off today. Going tomorrow. And then going to a class on Friday. Tomorrow's Thursday. Yep, Friday. Got a class. And then Saturday, I'm helping the boss to teach. It's like nonstop.
Well, at least you got your future planned for you, you know? It's like
Yeah.
you get to be an age and stage in life that, like me, you know, I have to do what I can do when I can do it and not hold to a schedule, you know?
Yeah. Took one of my supervisors hunting the other day and almost got a deer. But he brought one of the things as a hunting guide. I mean, I didn't charge him or work I was just a friend, and I have the side by side. But what I just enjoyed so much was to see that relationship between father and son. He brought his 7-year-old with us.
Oh,
And you could tell that he had spent so much time with him talking about hunting and gun safety. And he goes, Ron, I want you to quiz him today and ask him questions. And every time I ask that kid a question, like, what do you do when you come up to a fence and you're walking with a loaded gun? And he just knew every answer. So it's like, Brad, good job teaching your son all this gun safety. Yeah, it was really neat to watch. So
That's an easy answer. You go through the gate.
yeah. But one of the neat things, and I've lost track of how many sets of elk antlers that I have here in the house. And I had one, they're 90% of them are from Don. And because he collected them in California. And there are actually 6 different species of elk. One of them is called Tule elk. They're known to be on the West Coast. And I had one small one here, so I actually brought it with me. And that little boy was so neat. I told him, I said, hey, I've got a job for you. I said, at the end of the day, I said, when we come back to the truck, I need you to remind me that I have something special for you. Sure enough, we come back at the end of the day. He goes, hey, Ron, he goes, I'm doing my job. I'm reminding you to give me that special gift. So, it was so cute. You know, they say he's a good kid. So I presented it to him and I told him what it was and who it came from. And I said, how about you and your dad, when you get a chance? I said, do some research and studying on Tule elk. Well, it just so happens, as a matter of fact, today he has a show and tell at school. And so he's going to take that elk antler to school, you know, for show and tell. And I said, I can guarantee you no other kid in your class had one of these. So,
That's right.
yeah. Like I said, I just like seeing that father-son relationship. You know, it's kind of cool.
They won't know about Tulio deers either
Yeah. Yeah.
until today. He needs to end it and end it when they all everything gets quiet and say, oh, and they taste good too.
Yeah, probably want to leave that part out, maybe.
Nah, I'll put that in it.
Lance, what time do the students get there?
Students today, because it's late arrival, they don't get here until school starts today at 9:15.
Oh, okay. So you're 3 hours different, so that'd be like afternoon here.
Yeah, it's 6:23 now, so 7, 8, 2.5 hours. I'm way early today.
Oh, that's right, because of the time change back, we're 2 hours different, right?
No, still 3.
No, still 3.
Because it's right now, it's 9:25 a.m.
It's 6:25 there.
Are you on the West Coast, Lance?
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
He teaches school. What city is it in?
My school is in Tacoma.
Oh, you're in Washington. Okay. What do you teach, Lance?
Broadcasting, photography, and yearbook.
Oh. Oh,
So I get to go to school and play.
yeah.
See, the only difference between Lance, I work with the yearbook here at Mandeville High. The only difference between Lance and the yearbook staff here is the teacher here is hot.
Hey now.
Young and hot. Yeah, she's young and hot.
Okay, I'll give you that.
But she's an idiot. So
Aaron even gets to teach them computer games and drones as well.
I taught drones 1 year right at the pandemic, and I'm doing esports after school, so I am doing computer games.
yeah, I've been trying to get her to come fly drones with me. I was gonna let her use the motion controller.
Yours or the DJI one?
It depends.
Yeah, just grab the controller. It's just down my pants right there.
Yeah, here, put the goggles on and here's your motion controller.
Easy, Paul. Behave.
Every day to me at that school.
Ron, did you know that my tenant was dying?
Somebody had told me that. I can't remember who.
He died Saturday.
Monday.
Oh,
Monday.
is
Kidney and renal failure. They brought him here from the big hospital in Detroit, and he was in my bedroom, and he was only in there 2 days when he died.
No, he has a wife and child, if I remember right.
Wife and about 4 kids.
Oh, Hmm.
You know, mixed bag, you know.
right. This is the one that little girl used to come down.
Yes. In fact, she left yesterday with her other brother, the brother and she that used to come down here all the time. Their natural mother took them back to Louisiana.
Oh,
So it's
They co-
going to be a complete change for me and Mia. You know, nobody around.
oh, they're completely vacating.
Yep.
Who's listening to a TV?
And Justin.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ron, you
great.
know the ironic part, she's coming to South Louisiana somewhere, and she's in like 7th grade. Watching about 4 years, I'll look up and she'll be standing on the sideline at Mandeville as a cheerleader or something, and I'll be shooting a picture. Watch.
Yeah.
I just know I know that's gonna happen.
Who's listening to a TV?
I think it's Paul's Marine Radio.
Paul, are you going to re-rent the upper room or?
No, she the current wife plans on just staying there.
Oh, that's what I was wondering. Yeah. I thought you said they were going to vacate.
So she's staying there with her own kids.
No, because all her kids are older.
All right.
So it's just her?
Yeah, her and maybe a grandbaby or two. You know.
So what you're saying, Paul, is that you're gonna go from the Diet Pepsi to a little sugar daddy, huh?
What?
What? You
Somebody
gotta translate that.
Somebody put a disclaimer up.
Yeah, he's not gonna be drinking Diet Pepsi all the time because he's gonna be the sugar daddy at the place now.
No. She works. She's got a job.
No, I know, but there you go.
Oh no.
She'll come down.
No.
Mm.
Not
Right.
happening.
Sorry, lads, I'm gonna have to disappear. I've got to go to my appointment now.
Okay.
Appointment.
See you,
Hey,
Mark.
Mark, take
If
care.
you're finished by the time I get back, I'll see you later on.
Okay.
You know. Oh, man.
Well,
So
we
Justin,
did it.
Justin started his new job, Ron, since you've been here.
How's that going, Justin?
Good.
He hasn't gotten fired yet.
But I
think he's only slapped 3 kids.
He's practicing how to slap the bad kids without getting in trouble.
Huh.
Today was a good day to wake up to.
Yes. Yeah, don't bring that up. That's caused some hard feelings at the beginning of the show here this morning, I think.
Mudball didn't like it, the discussion and left.
No hard feelings, just the truth. Deal with it.
Why did Donald get mad?
I think he's a Camilla person.
No. He outright said he was voting for Trump the other day.
Oh, he did?
Mhm.
Oh, maybe.
He just didn't want to talk politics.
Yeah, that could be. That was my fault. I brought it up. I accept full responsibility, but
No, because he was on my show last week defending Trump. So when Mars was going off on him. I'm not going to speak for Donald and say he's a Trump person, but he's defended him multiple times on live streams when people tried to say something about him.
Well,
So-
Don seems to me to always protect the innocent, He doesn't like controversy, I don't think. But he's got his little grandbaby there.
The Dow Jones went up 1,300 points overnight.
Yep. 1,301.
Now we just got to see if we're going to get the House or not. We have the Senate. If we get the House, we'll have the Senate, the Supreme Court, the White House, and we'll have all 4 of them.
Yeah, it's gonna be close in the House though.
I don't know, there's a lot of House seats being overturned that were Democrat before, so.
Yeah, that might be the only way we win it, you know.
We got to stop this illegal immigrant stuff. Just here in little Hodunky.
Oh, have you got some of it going on there?
Well, over in Gillette, there was an article the other day that, and I'd actually heard our ambulance responded to it, that family come home from being away for, I guess, like a week. They come home and their house was broken into and somewhat overtaken by illegals, and the dad apparently was some big redneck cowboy that wasn't putting up with that shit, so he hauled everybody out, and when the cops got there, apparently they were all laying in the yard. Yeah, but he wasn't gonna have that, you know.
Not in my house.
Paul,
Yep.
Paul, mute me because I'm going to be playing my video here and I've got to do some editing.
Okay, you're muted.
Yeah. Shoot. Well, I got to take advantage of my day off.
You got any stuff you got to do around the house or no? You know,
Hey,
Ron, the one thing that you haven't brought up or showed us, are your deer still coming by or no? Or
Yeah, they're still coming around. Matter of fact, my buddy who just texted me just now, he's on his way. He'll be here
Ron, I
for-
got a question.
Yes,
So
sir.
when they came and found everybody in the yard, was he playing the song "Try This" in the small town in the background?
I don't know. Yeah,
hey, Ron, what was the name of the deer that was your buddy that all of a sudden disappeared?
Oliver.
Oliver.
Yeah, old Oliver.
He
Yeah.
was your buddy, wasn't he?
Yeah. Dawn liked him too. No. But
There one day and gone the next.
yeah, he literally the day before hunting season, he came to visit and Dawn fed him and never saw him again. So shame. Yeah. They're not here as much now because I don't feed them as much. And right now my front yard is an absolute disaster.
Oh,
Which
okay.
one of my chores today is it's one thing I found about in Wyoming, Paul, is people just they want to help you. And I just so happened I was with my boss, the other day. He kept wanting to pay me and give me. I'm like, Brad, I said, I am having just as much fun with you. Yes, it's my 4-wheeler and my gas, but I don't give a shit. I am having so much fun watching you and your son connect together hunting. It was so much enjoyment for me. So I have this tree that needs cut down and I'm a little scared I just don't have the skill set to fall that tree properly. And one wrong mistake, it's either going to be my deck or my garage if it's not done properly. He says, Ron, did I ever tell you my dad was a logger for 30 years? I'm like, no. He'll cut this thing down in 10 minutes. And here I want to pay him, his dad. He's like, no way. His dad will come out and take care of it. He goes,
So
I'll
they're
come
going
out.
to come out and do that for you?
Yeah, I had a quote on it from a tree place, $2,000.
Wow.
And all I told him to do, I said, get it on the ground. I will take care of the rest.
Yeah.
Get it on the ground.
And they wanted $2,000 just to cut it down. Wow.
Yep. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
my
anyhow,
house-
guys, I
my
better
house-
get Boogie and my buddy's on his way out.
Okay,
Yeah.
Ron.
He's a paramedic and I just worked with him a couple days ago, but he's a Wyoming state trooper as well. And he's a good dude. But he's on his way out. He's going to help me with a little project. So anyhow,
Yeah.
You guys have a great day.
Later on.
Okay,
Whatever.
Ron. Thanks for stopping by.
All right. See y'all. Bye-bye.
right after we moved back from California, we bought a house, and there was one tree against the fence all the way in the back that was dead, and it was hanging towards the house. I went out there and looked at it, and I looked up at it, and it was high. It was pretty tall, but it wasn't that tall. And I looked at how far away it was from the house. So I went out there and I got a little hatchet and started working on it. And my wife comes out and she goes, "You know what you're doing?" I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna drop it right here." I said, "I'm good." She goes, "It's not gonna hit the house." I said, "I ain't gonna do nothing. Ain't gonna hit the house." About 2.5 feet of it hit the top of the house.
Wow.
JD said it was,
was-
Lance that got mad.
Yeah. No, not really, man.
Joe, you and Justin keep an eye on it, will you? I got a head call. Not this head, yeah.
Oh, dude, I was having such trouble sleeping last night watching it. Kept waking up
Well, I
every
didn't go
couple
to
hours checking it.
Yeah, I didn't go to sleep till after he said his speech. About 2:00.
I love how the media took forever to call it.
But I had CNN going on the computer at the end. CNN was almost crying.
I don't surprise
All
me.
the broadcasters, they were all down in the dumps, all almost crying. You know, it was like it was. You see the difference between the two channels, and the one thing that is going to probably stir up shit when I say it, and I'm going to say it because there was one guy on there, and his black guy came on for CNN, and he said that just proves the racial divide in America because you couldn't. He said you don't respect any black women because you couldn't elect a black woman, and he said something else, and he said one more thing.
It's not about race. It's about policies.
Well, I agree, and the other guy on the panel went off on him. He says you don't respect her. You can't. He said the white males can't do a black can't support a black woman. All black women have been not disgraced, disrespected.
Right.
And when he said that, it was just she didn't. It did. I don't know. Because that's what my daughter did. My daughter went off on me last night too.
What's up, everyone in the chat?
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
What's up, John?
Why is everybody so everybody so up in the air, man? I mean, let's be real about it. You got a dude who's a millionaire, billionaire, who, if he didn't win this election, was gonna do time. You think Trump ain't spend that money to make sure he wasn't gonna end up in that cage? Who wouldn't have?
He wasn't gonna ever do any time.
If he'd have lost his election, he was gonna do some time.
Well, because of the Supreme Court, they had to go back and look at every case because if he did anything through his even the cases like the one down in Florida was dropped already. It was just if he did anything as the president within his power, within his official, it was all covered. You know, it's like, and they've had worse presidents, and they had presidents pass through stuff they should have went to jail for.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you what Biden's gonna do. And if he needs to do this, he needs to pardon Trump and his son.
Pardon them?
Yeah, pardon them both before he gets out of office, and get all of these things dropped. It's got to get back to normal. It's got to get back to you don't use the Justice Department against people. Because that's what they do in Venezuela. You know, we're not Venezuela.
You don't use the Justice Department against people. That's what the Justice Department represents.
Against your political rival.
Okay, I feel what you're saying, right? But just because a person is in a political party don't mean they supposed to be able to get away with what they want to get away with, what the rest of the world can't do. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm gonna leave it as this, Jonathan. Biden had just as many top secret documents in his garage, and he had them from when he was yeah, he did, in his garage, unsecured, and they were there. They had pictures of him driving his Corvette next to him. They were just sitting out in the open, and they did not prosecute him because they said he was old and feeble. Basically, that's what the people that came out and said that. And then they said, and they said they didn't say he could keep them, meaning that he had the right to keep them. When he took them, he was a senator. He didn't have the right to take them. He should have went to jail for that.
Well, like I said before, too, if you looked at any politician on either side, I guarantee you could go into any of their houses and you're going to find shit they ain't supposed to have.
Yeah, they probably all got something up in there.
Yeah.
I don't matter what
Marine Corps,
side
you
it
could
is.
go in my house and buy shit I wasn't supposed to have.
That's nothing new. I mean, the whole document thing. I mean, there's been tons of politicians that have been caught with shit in their house they weren't supposed to have. But the thing is, none of them ever went to jail for it.
Yeah.
So.
That's true. You know.
I think my personal opinion, I think they just ain't want a woman running the country. Is what it is. That's what I think anyway. Speak for self.
No, I don't think that. I don't think she was as qualified
No,
as she needed to be.
No. See, I don't think it was had a woman thing because Trump already had his loyal supporters before.
I agree with you, Jonathan. I don't think we're ready yet. I don't think America is quite ready yet. I totally agree.
Well, I don't know if we ain't ready for it. I just know that they ain't trying to have it. They ain't having that just yet.
And that's what I'm saying.
Might be what we need.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Jonathan. That most Americans are not quite ready yet.
Right.
Well, like I said, Trump already had his diehard supporters, though. So can't really say it was them, and she had her supporters. I mean, I don't really think it was had to do with the woman thing. They were already a diehard Trump supporters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little of both. I agree with you, Justin.
I mean, because he's had his supporters since, like, what, 2015, 16, when he decided he was going to run whenever that little, was it the beginning of, or the end of 2015, I think, he announced. Those people have been on his side ever since.
Dadgummit. Is Donald in here?
No.
No, he's not here.
I was told he left before I got here.
But I can't find what I'm looking for. But I think he bailed when he didn't want to talk about politics. I was going to ask him a premier question. Oh well.
Well, it's not that Donald had I don't think it was a particular side he was pissed off about. It was just he just didn't want to talk about it.
Sure.
Because that's all it's been talked about for a week and a half straight, you know. Plus, he was on my show last week and got fucking into it with Mars over it for an hour and a half. So I think he's just bent on it. That's all it is.
What's up, Dre?
Well, good morning.
What's up,
I
Dre?
see that the sun has risen, life has continued.
Yep, it is.
And now we have 4 years or whatever it's going to be.
Morning, Dre.
and I'm still dressing like I dress.
That's right.
So as I tell, ain't no matter who's sitting in the White House, it ain't changed me a bit.
The light is gonna go on.
That's right. Yeah. That cool cat. I always have to beg a difference when I see a comment like that. Someone who
Oh, what did he write? I didn't
college
see.
educated, has a Juris Doctor's degree, practicing attorney, rose to the ranks from local DA to state attorney, was those elected positions, and was picked to be vice president, can be low IQ. Because now you're condemning over a third of the presidents who've ever been elected in this country will have to be low IQ because she checked all the boxes of previous predecessors to be able to be a nominee for president.
Oh,
Oh, that's funny. The IQ thing, that could easily be flipped.
Because low IQ people don't pass the bar exam. Low IQ people don't make it to get a Juris Doctorate. Low IQ people don't get degrees. And low IQ people usually don't get elected.
What's your premier question?
I got an answer, Donald. I found it. It's so the new Premier's lot, the sound is now in graphics or Essential Sound. They've changed.
Essential Sound. Yep.
Have you played with sound at all?
I have a little bit. In the Essential Sounds, yeah. What are you looking at? What are you?
So I want to center. So I have two lines. I want to center it, and I cannot find that icon.
You're wanting to center two lines.
Yeah. So I've got Veterans Day, and my second line is 2024. I want to center 2024.
What do you mean center? The
underneath Veterans Day. So I want it centered. Right now, it's left justified.
Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about audio.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Text.
Yes, Don. You want the audio to be centered, Don.
Well, you can. I was like, okay, left click and go to channels, and we can center the audio. No, okay. No. So you're looking at text underneath the Essential Graphics.
Yeah.
I hate the text in Premiere.
I do too. And
I always round trip over to After Effects. Yeah, I have used. Well, in fact, this latest project, I do have some text that was Premiere native, but you're going to have two different positions, I believe.
I thought he was talking audio, and I don't even know nothing about Premiere.
On the text.
Yeah.
So you're going to have you double clicked your text layer in your Essential Graphics?
I have, and it's basically one text with two lines because I hit enter after the letter Y.
Okay. So do you have a properties window open?
I do.
And you should have it up at the top. You should have your layers of text within that text layer.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Okay.
And then right underneath, okay, I was gonna say right underneath the font is where you're gonna have your center or your justification. But then you're also going to have to go back in and center it as far as within the world space. That's centering it within your text
correct
layer. And that's doing layout within that text layer. But then the layer itself within your project, you're gonna have to center that as well.
Perfect. Okay, I got it. Hey, thanks, bud.
But good. Yeah, I don't want to talk politics. And the reason I left earlier is because, okay, I will tell you who I did not vote for ever. Donald Trump.
Okay.
But I
Don,
hate.
You can leave. I'm about to talk politics.
I hate having to defend him, but I do get worked up whenever I do the same the other way when people start making weird claims. I always have to go towards what the truth, or what the truth as I understand it to be, there. And so, like the other night, Justin, I was not defending Trump on your panel. I was defending the way we count unemployment. I was arguing that. I wasn't arguing that he was a good person. I wasn't arguing that he should be president. Right now,
No,
I'll
but
say
I'm
the same-
saying you've
I'll say the
defended.
same thing as when the night after Obama was elected the first time. I'll say the same thing. We should hope that in the next 4 years, people can get past whatever craziness that election caused and look at each other as people and try and unify. And hope for the best. You know what? You might not agree with his policies, but he's going to be president, and you should hope for the best outcome possible. You shouldn't hope for him to fail, just like you shouldn't hope for someone else to fail. And I will tell you what I think this election came down to, and I'll tell you right now, I didn't like either candidate. But there were lies being told on both sides, and Trump's lies are all about how Trump is better than he is. There were lies on the other side telling you how bad Trump was. But it was all about Trump. He sucked the oxygen out of the room. It wasn't so. And people, when it's an obvious lie and everybody in the media would repeat obviously provable lies, you tend to dislike people like that. And when somebody's lying about somebody else, you tend to dislike them more than when they're telling lies about themselves and trying to puff themselves up. Usually.
Well, my thing, Don, is the process. And I'm very disappointed in my own party. I'm a Republican, 40 plus years, been voting. And I don't feel it's right, correct, or they should have some more serious rules about those who are seeking to be the nominee have the option to opt out of debates. That is just crazy in my book, that he decides, oh, I'm not going to show up, but he remains on the ticket. If you don't want to show up, talk about your policies, talk about your leadership abilities, talk about whatever the questions are, you need to give the American public the opportunity to hear what you have to say on your own behalf compared to those who are also seeking that office. It's just ridiculous.
True.
You know, if you don't want to show up for a debate in Iowa, he don't want to show up for other debates.
And the other side,
wherever
I would argue there was a process on the other side that they skipped completely, which was the friggin' primary.
Well, like I say, the primary, like I say, when you have the incumbent in office, that's a whole nother story.
The incumbent didn't end up on the ticket.
Well, he didn't because he stepped down.
And they did that to
like I say, we
avoid
can
the
always say
primary
about the reasons
process.
why
We know they did it to
confidence.
avoid the primary process. We know that.
Right. But I'm just saying that same thing. If that would have been done earlier, if he'd have stepped down in January, I would have the same argument on their side.
It'd be different. And also, I think there is a certain percentage that would say, and see, this is why I didn't want to come back on.
No, I mean, come on now.
I think there is a certain percentage of the vote that say we are not ready for a woman, but I don't think that was the primary thing. That's an easy, stupid way of looking at things.
Cop out.
And just say, oh, it's because she's a woman.
Yeah.
It's like, no. You know, I was a huge Tulsi fan back, what was that, 2020, in the primaries in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I was a huge Tulsi fan.
Right.
But
and that's why
they drove her out of the primaries.
To just like, you know, some comments that were made in the chat about qualifications. And that was always seemed to be a highlight topic of qualifications. And I'm quick to point out, like you are, the facts. I said, if you go by qualifications,
if you
Ms. Harris
jobs that
checked
she's
a lot
held,
of boxes. Yeah. But your qualifications are based upon those who came before you. Those set the standards of qualifications.
Yep.
So you look up the history of the United States presidential candidates and actual presidents and see how many were lawyers, how many were attorney generals, and how many were vice presidents before they be on that ticket.
That's great. If she had laid out any policies that were different than Joe Biden's, maybe she might have done better. If she had laid out any policies, a lot of her campaign was you should vote for her to make it historic first woman president.
Yeah, there was
Like,
a certain aspect
people are
of that.
people are
A certain
pe-
aspect.
oh, there was a
turned the
huge aspect of
page.
that.
You know, well, I don't out here. It wasn't that. That was not the message out here. It might have been in your area, but it was not the message out here. I'm just going by the simple fact that our system is very broken on both sides of the fence, where individuals can pick and choose how they become the nominee.
Well, that's true, but that is up to each party to determine that. And it comes
Right.
down to the failings of parties are not an integral part of our form of government. Parties just are a natural outcome of that. And the parties are still free to run their parties how they choose.
And I get that. That's why I said. That's why I said I would like to see.
So you would like to see
I said
something.
they did anything wrong.
So you would like to see something codified into our government on how a party should be formed.
No,
and how
I
they should
want
run.
to see each party codify how it should be
Oh.
run. That's why I say I want the government to be involved. I want one thing I can say this: since Donald Trump has came into the official political arena, okay, he has exposed a wide number of Republicans, and I'm not calling rhinos, but I say individuals who have shown themselves to have lack of spine.
Mhm.
And that is one of the things I can see, because my thing is, when you get up and say something, you need to stand on it. Don't sit there and say something one day, then go down and kiss the ring the next day.
Well, you can have a machine that produces something, say in a factory. You have a machine, it's enclosed, everything is enclosed, and all you know is that stuff comes in, stuff comes out, and that machine works great until suddenly something happens. A part goes into that machine that doesn't belong there, and suddenly it's no longer just that thing that does something. You finally realize, oh, there's a machine back there, and he exposed the machine because he did not fit. He did not come in as a career politician. He came in. He was basically, the entire machine decided to tear itself apart, going after this outsider. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, you can have a certain elements of that, but I'm just saying that if you speak other words, let your yays be yays and your nays be nays. That's biblical. And I'm saying, don't sit here and grandstand on what you believe and how this narrative. The next time you see you on the air or whatever, you up there kissing the ring and saying something totally different. And I'm talking about the Lindsey Grahams, the Marco Rubios, the Ted Cruz, and all the rest of those knuckleheads who I wouldn't trust with a pencil sharpener to do anything. Because they're all two-faced. Either you're in or you're out. Simple as that. Because my thing is, and Joe know what I'm talking about, I need to trust the man next to me in the foxhole.
Oh yeah.
I can't have you being wishy-washy. Because when the bullets come down range, I need to make sure we're all firing the same direction.
Yeah, and I don't want to have to shoot you first.
That's it. Because that's what I'll do. I'll shoot you first, then shoot at the actual enemy. Because I don't know what side you're going to come up on. And that's my biggest thing, is that's what Trump has exposed, that now you have a large portion of the political party who I would not trust because they're so wishy-washy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not good for our government. Because I just say that if someone has the I'm not going to say political power, but has the means, which Trump has the means to end someone's political career through financial means, they get nervous and skittish and back away from their own personal stance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't have conviction.
And that's not good for our republic. That's not good. That just means that if someone else in line like Trump comes into the party and wants, push buttons and stuff, where are we going to go next? Because we have a bunch of individuals who has no moral authority and have no like I said, no lack of spine. You know, I mean, one thing you can say about Democrats, they do line up behind each other for most cases. They'll line up. They don't sit there and talk trash one day and then go back and kiss your butt the next day. They'll all fall in line and fall over together. But this Republican Party, dude,
They'll all fall in line, but they're all kind of falling in line to be the first one to step forward. 'Cause they all fall in line until the winds change, and then they all fall in line the other direction. So it really depends on what you want. Do you want a party unified on whims, or you want a party that is chaos? I don't know.
That's what we got now, party and chaos on the Republican side. Because see, right now, Trump is about to inherit the same thing he got in his first term. He's got the Senate and could possibly have the House. He had both the Senate and House when he was elected last time, and how much stuff got passed.
I thought of this the other day. Somebody was talking about Trump made mistakes when the first term. It's like, yeah, what's to stop him from making mistakes? He'll make mistakes. He'll just make different ones.
Well, I mean, nobody's going to be perfect in office. That's
well, one of his things was
now is the concern we have now. That pool of people who would, I would say, normally willingly be a part of the administration are now fled the scene.
Well, when you say he came in last time with
select loyalist individuals who must tap dance to the president's tune, even though the president might be making a large mistake, that they're other, like I say, no guardrails, no one to say, no, this is not what we should be doing, is going to be there.
And when you say he came in last time and he had all the stuff, he didn't have anybody aligned on, there may have been, the map may have turned red on the Senate. Map may have turned red, but they weren't on his side.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I think now,
and he brought in people that were loyal to the machine.
No, I would say not that. I think.
Oh, he did.
I talk about the generals. From a military standpoint, I talk about the generals. I can't sit here and in good faith want to speak about who he's going to put in place of generals who have an obligation to the Constitution and not the man.
Right.
Because that's what I always stand on, is the Constitution, not the individual. I don't care what side of the fence you're on. The Constitution guides me and stuff. So it'd be R or D, the Constitution is above. So my thing is now he's already self-admitted that he will pick people who are only loyal to him and not the Constitution. And that even goes not just to generals, but even other positions within the government.
He says a lot of things.
Director, DOJ, and all these other kind of different departments and stuff. And like this Robert Kennedy thing. Dude, how do you explain that one? You're going to put this man in charge of all of our health and services and possibly education?
Well, that kind of tells you.
I will just go ahead and hire the Joker.
Well, no, that tells you right there. If everybody's scared of the presidency, maybe the presidency has accrued too much power.
Like I said, Supreme Court kind of sealed that deal, didn't they?
No, it's been happening for decades.
Well, yeah, it's been happening for decades.
If you look at the number of executive orders that have taken place, every single president has increased the number of executive orders that they put in place. And
that's my whole point, that nothing gets passed, but you govern through executive order, which is not the way you govern. You govern through actually legislation getting passed.
And that comes down to Congress becoming, you know what, we'll just go ahead and go along with it and collect our paycheck and just, and instead of Congress keeping the power that they were given, that there is their duty.
Yeah, Constitution.
I think the best thing that could be done is to get rid of the omnibus bills. Get rid. It's one bill, one vote. One subject. It comes in. You don't combine all these. You don't combine all these little pet projects bills into one omnibus bill. Vote
I agree
unanimously.
totally on that. Line item voting should be the way always should have been. And I think throughout I want to say
It
40s,
became
no, the
easier.
50s and 60s start that, I would say it started that pork belly project crap
Yep.
and stuff to get things through. And it's become part of the practice of Congress of doing stuff like that. And that way, and that also starts the habit of people not actually reading bills and just voting along party lines or whatever else is going along instead of actually reading it and how it's going to affect the people that you're supposed to be representing.
Yeah. Just, I don't know. And elections come and go, and they should not. It's an important job, but it should not divide a country.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. But like I say, we'll find out. Like I told people, I say the sun rose today. The wind is blowing up to 100 miles per hour where I'm living at.
Hey, you guys want to hear good news?
What's that?
My Air 3S has shipped. And
From where?
estimated delivery date on the 8th. We'll see if it makes sense.
Malaysia.
Yeah, where
So
did it ship from?
you're supposed to have it by Friday?
That's what the estimated delivery date on DHS says. I don't believe it.
What Friday?
Yeah.
Like
The 8th.
the 8th.
Yeah, they said
DHL
Friday.
is-
You should have got a
is
date,
shipping?
right?
It did get November the 8th, right?
Yeah.
So DHL ships in Missouri?
Yeah, I guess so. You know, we are a flyover country. They might just fly over and drop it out.
Drop it off?
It's a drone. It'll make it down.
Wait for that Chinese balloon to fly over. They'll drop it.
Yeah.
Well, the thing of it is do you know where it's coming from? In other words, like, can you track it?
Yeah. Looks like it came from Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Let me copy this here and go to the link they gave me was the Chinese.
Hey, get some fried rice put on in that box. We get some fried rice too. A couple of one time.
We'll see if it. I don't like hearing Paul talk bad about the one he's got.
What?
You were talking about your Air 2S having issues with the gimbal?
Yeah, it did it again today. All of a sudden,
Yeah, I know,
I was
and
going around the
and
front of the ship.
it's making me nervous now.
And then I had to
Don't be
bring it
nervous.
back up again.
It make me nervous.
His Air 2S is old. That's what it is.
Yeah, but you got an
Mine
Air
have
three.
a-
I thought he had an Air 3S.
No, Air
No,
2S.
Air 2S.
Air
Oh,
2S.
good. Then I don't care. Good. Then
I have to rebuttal Joe's remark about being old because I flew those videos I did yesterday with the old Maverick 2 Pro and my gimbal works as smooth as ever.
Well, I'll tell you what it was. But I bought the Air 2S from somebody in the drone community, and he didn't have the proper gimbal on it. He had that other gimbal that fits over the whole front, and I guarantee you that gimbal messed it up. That gimbal cover messed it up.
yeah, estimated time of arrival November 8th by end of day, and it looks like they are shipping. It's on a flight direct to Missouri, so there must be a large.
There you go, Donald. That ought to be interesting for you to play with.
Oh yeah,
They're gonna land in your backyard. That's what they're doing.
I'm telling you, the other day, shooting that stuff with that little mini, I just missed the power of the Phantom. And now that I've been looking at a lot of the tracking, now that it's like, okay, I'm actually in the market for this drone. I started looking at the capabilities of this drone as far as tracking and speed to track vehicles. It's like, okay, I want to go reshoot some of that shit.
Well, you know what I'm hoping for, and I don't know why me, but why they don't come out with a Neo 2 that has a SD card slot. Now, how much more weight could an SD card slot cause?
You don't need one.
They
It's
don't,
gonna.
they don't have the room for it.
Yeah, because it's all internal. So that means you got to bring it, you got to plug it into your computer, draw off the video. The SD card, you just take it out and put an SD card reader in and play it.
Yeah, but
That seems
the
like
Neo
more
isn't
work,
much big.
though.
The Neo itself isn't much bigger than an SD card, is it?
No.
That seems like more work to have to
I
take an
think
SD card out,
Neo,
just put it in
the
a reader.
Neo, I think, because the Neo is designed not to be a camera drone. It's not for someone to capture. It's supposed to be like a selfie drone. It's supposed to be all-in-one package that you don't have to be like a photographer going to carry all the SD card case, and manage all that stuff.
Well,
It's
Joe
supposed to be all
raves about
encompassing.
the
So you just do
quality
this
of the
here, and then
picture.
you put it online. I think that's why.
I'd say it's more of a
It's not that hard. I mean, you plug it in, it comes up as a drive. You click on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Your video
Cool
should
Cat
be there.
raises a good point. Oh no. With my Mini, this has been my landing pad
Yeah.
for my Mini
Crash
forever. And that's gonna be way too small of a landing pad for the Air 3S.
Now you got to
Oh,
go buy
well.
some accessories.
So I'm gonna have to build a new landing pad.
Now, did you buy the Flymore kit with it or no?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
And I even bought the wide angle lens as well.
That wide angle lens looks cool.
I'm kind of interested in using that. I don't think it'll be much use during the day because it takes the place of the ND filter. And you
That's-
can't have
that's
the wide angle
another-
lens on top of the ND filter, but it will be interesting to use at night for like evening shots.
And that's another reason I'm leaning toward the Air 3S and not waiting for the Air 4 or the Mavic 4. I mean, just because of that lens as well, but and the price. You can't beat the price, compared to what the Mavic 4 is going to cost us.
And Mavic 4 is gonna be 3,500.
Mm-hmm.
Do I really need that variable aperture? Yes, I do.
I will be honest. I looked at the bank account and looked at the Mavic 3. Looked at the bank account. It's like I can't justify it, and this will already be an upgrade, and plenty of power, and plenty of capability for what I'm used to doing.
And it sounds like they're the same price if you buy them new, aren't they?
What?
The Air 3 and the Air 3S, are they the same price?
The Air 3S is $50 more.
Yeah,
$50 more. Oh,
yeah.
And then you got to pay the lens is another 70 probably, right?
I don't know what that lens costs.
See, and that's another thing, Dan. People talking about the tariffs that he talked about. We already have tariffs in place. Every country has tariffs in place. Tariffs is a boogeyman that they tried to sell to people, saying, ooh, he's going to put these tariffs and raise the cost on everything. But tariffs are just a negotiation tactic used to ensure better trade deals with a country. We already have tariffs. In fact, $18 billion in new tariffs got passed last year.
I don't think they ever removed Trump's tariffs anyway on China that he already had on them, did he?
Nope.
No.
I think they're still in place.
Nope. And then they added 18 billion last year. So tariffs is one of those, but and that's the thing is I kept on seeing the news and just the crazy information, it's crazy boogeymen that they were putting out there. It's like, stop making me defend this person.
Hey, Joe, you
Stop making me defend Trump.
The Neo down and fly a ship. I'll be right back.
Fly safe.
You gonna fly a Neo?
Well, see, Donald, that's why I said after that, I said I'm not going to speak for Donald because I don't know if he voted for him or not.
I've never voted for Trump.
Well, I said that after I said that. I said you were defending him, but more just to the facts that Mars was putting out for you. Like,
and that's the thing.
Is Paul gonna be able to contact that shipping company to get the drone back from off top the ship? Because that Neo's gonna wind up on that ship.
He's gonna go fly the Neo?
That's what he says.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Here we go.
He gotta go up, he's just go to the side of the river and throw it in.
Is that where Paul is
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah,
That's
he's
what
been
he said.
itching to put the Neo out there to try to fly a ship with it.
Just go to the side, take it out the case, just chunk in the water.
Oh, and other good news, they have shipped the laptop to me. Sparklight has, that I will be doing my remote work with, so I've
company, you
completed
mean?
it's official that I have the job and will be there.
Oh, you got the word, huh?
Yep.
So make sure you go on the JCPenney website, order you some Stratford, and I'm gonna say again, Stratford shirts. They have a high thread count, so they look nice, like this one.
Yeah.
And make sure you dress to impress. As I always
a
say,
rem-
dress for the job that you want to have next, not for the job that you have.
It's a remote job, so I might not even wear pants.
I
You
ain't
don't have
saying
to wear
wear pants,
No.
but you need to at least wear a shirt like this.
No, yeah.
You never see Dre standing
yeah.
up, right?
These t-shirts that you guys see me in, yeah, the Evil Dead poster in the background that you
Yeah.
guys see, yeah, those things will not be there when I'm doing like Zoom calls and stuff like that. And
Thank you very much.
I will be dressed nice when I go out on calls with the salespeople. In fact,
Hey, Dre.
it might be my goal to dress better than the salesperson.
There you
Hey,
go.
Dre, when I was stationed in Hawaii, Mauna Loa and Kilauea were up at the same time.
Mhm.
And this is when they did it the first time years back. That was in the 80s. And I went over, I had press credentials from the Marine Corps. I went over to try to get pictures, and we had to get on a waiting list of a plane. And it was CNN, ABC, all the major newscasters right there, right? And I got the biggest kick. I got a picture of the CNN reporter standing there in a shirt and tie and a coat and short pants.
Yeah.
You know,
That's all I was saying the
love
other
that.
day. I've seen a couple of
Flip-flops.
reporters
Yeah.
that were dressed from the waist up.
Yeah. That was the best thing I've seen in my life.
Oh, and he got his own parking space at his house too, Dre.
Oh
Is that
yeah,
right?
I'm gonna go out and spray paint reserved and
Good. So congratulations, Donna. I hope this is lead to a long-term situation for you, or I should say stable till you're able to branch out on your own.
that's what I'm glad to have this job for. Is I will have stability. I'm not going to stop doing video production, but this will give me stability, and stability
Right.
means a lot.
Yeah. Well, it means a lot to most of us.
Mhm.
You
What
know.
are you gonna do when you go complain to the company your wife's parking in your space?
Oh, I'm not going to complain to the company. I'm just going to tow it.
I'm gonna say you just
You're gonna
call
have
tow
it
truck, have it towed. I don't know where you be sleeping that night, but you can go get it towed.
Be down there in that room. You'll be in that one room.
Yeah, he won't even be in that room. He'd be out there sleeping in that dim buggy.
Yep, I got a hammock and a sleeping bag. I'll be out in the woods.
And the rolling on the field wasn't interesting.
I can't believe Paul's gonna go fly the Neo down there.
Well, he said he's mad at his Air 2F because the gimbal's not acting right. Now,
Yeah.
has he actually looked at the gimbal to see if there's anything wrong with the gimbal, far as is one of the bands or whatever have come
Well,
off?
you answered your own question.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. My Air 3, not my Osmo Pocket 3. I took it out about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and the gimbal, it wouldn't unlock. And I'm like, Percy, if my stuff don't work right away, I just throw the bag, finish my job. I'm there to fly a job, not to shoot video and stuff. So
Yeah.
I got home and I thought about it, and then I finally had to manually unlock it with my hand, which I was scared of because I was afraid about breaking it and stuff. So once I did that, I turned it off again, turned it back on, and it wouldn't spin up like it's supposed to. The camera head's supposed to, gimbal's twin twist, whatever. So I said, you know what? Let me do this. Took a little WD-40, sprayed it on the tip of my finger, and I just massaged it in the gaps where the gimbal turns at and everything, and put my fingernail in there, and I let it sit for about five minutes. No, Don, listen to it. Don, turn it back on. Boom.
Yeah, I would have gone graphite instead of WD-40.
Well, graphite, well, that's what I
Moisture's
had.
gonna be pulling in dirt and.
Well, like I said, that's why I don't keep mine out in the open. So I mean, it stays in the bag.
Yeah, I will say the Phantom that my old job had that I used to fly, it had a problem with one of the motors just finally getting weak, and it wouldn't return all the way to level. So if I did a quick pan, just a quick pan with the drone, and the gimbal would tilt to maintain the horizon, it wouldn't come all the way. It wouldn't come all the way back to
come
return.
back,
And so I'd be sitting there with a crooked horizon. So I was having to level out the horizon. I'd have to pan super slow, and if the horizon was off, I'd have to jerk the sticks real fast to try and make it tilt a little bit. It was getting pretty rough there towards the end.
Yeah. Well, like I said, my Osmo Pocket is barely a year old. I bought it a year ago this month, and I'm like, and I don't use it that often. And that's why I've been trying to tell myself, you bought this stuff, you need to start using it. And you know, that's my whole thing now, is just to start using more of my ground gear. And like I said, I fooled around and bought that second slide pod and stuff. And I said, yeah, you got to force yourself to just using this stuff. You got the gear, start using it.
Yeah, I don't remember who I was talking with about
Hey,
the
Lance.
drone. It's like, okay, well, now I need to start setting myself up specific projects because, and they're like, oh, I was talking to Jonathan, and he says you can fly, just fly, and it's like I'm more of a project-based person.
Task-oriented.
Well, I'm a project-based person. It doesn't have to be
Task
cash,
project.
but it's a project-based, and so I just going out to fly does not register on me.
Same
But
here.
If I put a project to it, then you know, I can make a checklist on I can't make a checklist on go out and enjoy yourself flying. I can make a checklist on here's this project, and I can get tasks done on it, and part of that would be
now,
flying.
like yesterday while I was out doing my monthly update on the bridge rebuild, I did shoot some additional stuff while I was there. You know, I got a couple of train shots, and you know, and I might have added them into it if I wanted to, so I had extra footage. But since I was there, got it all in, and like you know, I shot 3 batteries, and I ended up making a 2-minute video.
Yep.
So, you know, that's just part of the process. Now, the train shots, when I was getting them, I liked it because it gave me a chance to work on some manual flying techniques as far as being very cinematic and smooth. Because the trains, 2 of the trains were turning, a long arc turn. So I wanted to look like the drone was following as the train turned, the drone followed perfectly along that path. And so I was working on that. And in the video I made itself of the bridge update, I did it, everything was flown manually. So like I said, did a couple of tight orbits on the crane, did a couple other tight orbits on I did a drop down off the top of the crane, right on top of the workers, just offset of them and everything. All that was done manually. Gimbal control as I was descending, and also gimbal control. That's what I was asking Paul about.
Doing one of those lifts and tilting the gimbal and doing
Yeah,
tilt.
I was coming down, and then I right almost to the bottom, I tilt the gimbal up from 9 degrees. Up.
Doing one that are really soft.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. And that's one of my favorite shots, and that's a shot you don't see people do often.
Right, and that's why I tell people,
it simulates the old like doing a jib shot. You used to
Right,
have
do
a
the jib
control. You'd have a control arm on the jib. It wasn't just up and down. Usually, you have a control arm on a jib, and you're
Right.
moving the jib down, and you can keep something in frame, and you're tilting the camera as you're dropping. That's
Right.
how jibs are usually used.
And that's
Sometimes
my
you'll just
whole
do a
part
drop.
about people learning how to use their drone. I mean, like I said, people get in the habit of buying the newest, latest drone because they think these features are automatically going to give you shots like that. I said, no, this is you learning how to manipulate the controls.
The newer drones, they give you a lot of those shots, but knowing what those shots are and what I make the biggest argument all the time. You see a roofing company commercial. Somebody's got a drone and they're going to do a commercial for a roofing company. And every single shot is a drone shot. Every single shot is orbits and flyovers. And it's like, have you thought about putting the drone right on the ridge line of the roof and leaving it still?
Yeah.
Your drone is not the shot. Your drone is a tool to get the shot.
Right.
And treat it as a platform, just like your tripod. It is
like
just a platform for a camera.
The second shot I used the same crane and I started to do an orbit, and then right middle orbit, I just stopped the orbit and just kept floating it off till I came center of the bridge.
Yep.
Like the crane moved away out of the shot.
Yep. Feather off your pan and keep feather off your
off the left
yaw.
stick.
Feather off your yaw and keep your
right.
pan, yeah.
And that's I did it like that. And like I can say, these you and I, like I say, when I watch TV, movies and stuff, these are the things I look for, I look at to see how the cinematography part of it operates. And everything. Like you said, anybody can do a flyover, anybody can do a large orbit, or you can have a drone do its own orbit or whatever the case may be. But when you're able to develop these other shots, hey Lance, you going to work?
Yeah, I've got to get to a meeting, guys.
All right.
I will. I'll catch up with you guys later. Have a good day.
All right. Have a good day. But like I say, that's why I tell people, no matter if you're flying, like I said, I did this all with a Mavic 2 Pro yesterday and stuff. And that's why I tell folks, it's not about the newer drones or whatever newer tech. It's about the operator being able to manipulate the control. Because I always tell people all the time, I said, well, do you know how to set your gimbal up? And most folks say they don't really touch the gimbal.
First thing you want to do is go in there and turn. They come from China, and first thing I'm going to do is go in there and feather the speed on those gimbals because
that's what I do.
Because they're all fast when they come from the factory. It's like, and you get those fast jerky shots. You get those fast moves. It's like feather.
And that kind of, I don't say it gets me upset, but it kind of gets under my skin. I said, if you just would have went in and adjusted your gimbal setting down to about a 10, 11 frame, you can get that nice, slow moving, cinematic shot. It's just so easy to get it to. Then you got to teach your fingers how not to go 100%. A lot of people fly 100%. Either they're going full bore or they're not going at all. There is no in between. And I tell folks that's also the difference of being cinematic, is learning how to fly the drone without it being full right hand thumb to the top. Flying all the time. You know? Learn how to feather that speed. And I said a lot of times your shots can be better if you know when to back off or even know when to accelerate to maintain the shot frame.
Oh yeah. And you always have the list of epic shots. These are the epic drone shots that you need to learn to make your videos great. It's like they never say the why. Here's this epic shot. Okay, why are you using it? Why are you using that shot? Oh, here's one where you pull back and you reveal. Okay, what are you revealing? Why are you doing that shot? Why do you need to start off and do a reveal shot? What does it have to do with?
And a lot of times those are the better reveal shots when you're doing those movements and stuff. Those are the better ones. I'm gonna have to show you this, Don, because I know you and I understand this, but there might be some folks in the chat.
I bet everybody understands it. I have faith in everybody.
You're a kind man.
I try to be. And that's a problem. I try and look for the good.
Yeah. But I'll show you this opening scene here as soon as I bring it up. I want to stop here. Hang on a second. There we go. Let me stop. Blow it up. Okay. Now, how did I get to that one? It's not even the video I wanted. Let me go back here. I got the wrong video. The video. There we go. Let me stop it. Blow it up. Tell you, it's like it didn't want to get large. I tell you, I hate this city computer. It is so anemic. It's just ridiculous. There we go. Well, let me share. Is it up now?
Yes, Edward. Paul left to fly a ship. I do not see it.
Okay.
Great.
Let me know when you can see it. Oh, gotta hit the second share
There it
button,
goes.
I guess. There it goes.
There it is. We see it.
All right.
I like the action. The workers down there. And that's a nice, gentle shot.
Now I was thinking about chopping
that
it up, and I said, no, I'm gonna keep it one piece.
I was going to
You know,
say that shot would not be the same if you did not have that crane over to the side to show.
Yeah. And that's why I didn't chop it up to like accelerate a little bit, do a couple of cuts going down. I said, no, I'm gonna keep it all in, and then do this nice right about here. I start my tilt with the gimbal.
Got, yep. Nice. See that right there?
Mm-hmm.
That's like an old school Hollywood
Right.
crane move right there.
Mm-hmm. Boom. Just fade it out. And then this one right here, the second shot off top of the crane.
Mm-hmm.
And you see I'm tilting the camera up even here.
Yep.
You get
I'm
feel.
that was very disorienting.
And then I stop, and I right about here, I'm leveling out, the crane like it's moving away.
Huh? Yep.
But I'm centering on the bridge.
Yeah, I can see a shot there. You're following that prime truck.
And then we
That
go
would have been
again.
a cool shot, just following that one prime truck
Right.
down across through all those
Right.
containers.
So
I see. I look at those. I look at the shots and I go, okay, how would I use this in a sequence? The
Mhm.
next sequence, when you came down with those guys, I really wanted to have the next shot I would want, which is not something you could have gotten, but
Mhm.
next one is down with just your regular SLR down on the
Right.
ground, a tight shot of a broom.
of the guy sweeping.
Yeah, get
like I
that
said,
tight shot.
I
And-
think about that if I had access to be where they're at.
Right.
Then
And when I
do
think of a sequence, and this is something a lot of people don't think of, because a drone you only have the one scale, but there is
Right.
a rhythm to the shots where you can go from large to the small details. It's just like the contrast you can get from bright to dark. These are
Mhm.
rhythms that you can create with in the edit. And
Right.
after you shoot forever, you start thinking, okay, what's next in the edit? And that's the kind of thing that
Yeah, but
I
I'm
wish
like you,
people
see,
knew more
I,
of.
I thought about that 2 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
I thought about dropping off the crane, coming in, all this kind of stuff. I'm like you. For me, I just can't just go out and just willy nilly just fly.
Right.
So I have to have something
You
in
want a
my head.
project.
Write it down on a piece of paper. Says I want to
And
do this shot, that shot.
and you were there doing your actual real job, and then you got the
Right.
extra shot of
Mhm.
practicing that crane move, and you practice on a real subject, and that's
Yep.
I have gone out and flown a lot, just go out and do practice flights. Say, okay, I want to figure this one skill out, and I go out and I figure something out, and I just practice. But it's usually the things that you experiment on after you get the shot you needed, and
Yeah.
you have a real world subject, and you're like, okay, let me try something, and that'll tell you, okay, well, I can't do that, so I better go out and I better practice that skill. So if
Yeah.
you try to do that crane shot and it came out like crap, you'd kick yourself, and so you'd go out and you'd practice it until you got it, until you
Mhm.
understood it. And
Now,
so
this other one, this is where I was riding the trains here. Let me bring this up.
Did y'all see when that ship went by? The guy was waving at Paul, and he said, "I'll send you your drone."
Oh man. Let me set this one up for you. I'm gonna cut into it a little more.
Hey,
Yeah, we'll
I just
stop
got
it right there.
notification. I
This is
need to
coming into the.
complete a background check. It's like,
Well, so much for
guys,
that job.
no, it's like, I worked for you for 23 years. What do you think a background check is going to show that you don't already know about me?
Mhm. Okay, here's this one here. Let me know when you can see it.
Yep.
All right. This is the Metrolink coming into the station. I did a quick hyperlapse in between just to break up the scene.
Yeah, shoot, you can't tell that's coming or going.
Right, it's got an engine on both ends.
Yeah.
As I stopped here at the station, then I brought the drone in close. And this was a longer piece, but I just edited it out because I wanted to make it shorter. Showing it pulling out. And then we're going to cut to the hyperlapse again into the next train. And that's where the shot I want to show you. But this thing went on for like almost a full minute. I followed this train out. And it goes to this one here. Now, this is where I wish I had two drones, because I like to have a drone following the first drone who's chasing the train. Because I wanted to make it like almost like a bird flying, and it sees a prey, and you see if we dive down towards it.
Yeah. And that's, that is something, if you want to self-promote, find a friend who flies drones near you and have them try and track your drone.
Yeah.
You show the footage, then you show your drone capturing the footage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm out because I saw the way Johnny flies. I wouldn't let him drive.
Well, Joe, you're out because I said find a friend.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Now, getting to this
So,
turn,
Johnny-
the part right here I was focusing on was this turn coming up. Because I'm trying to match the turn of the train.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
That reminds me of a shot I did a couple years ago where I was chasing a jet ski across a lake
Mm-hmm.
and trying to match his turns.
Now here, I'm descending and turning at the same
Uh-huh.
time. Now, the only way I can make this any better, now if I had a green screen with a fake train and had somebody fighting on top of it.
Yeah. That looked pretty good.
That is a pretty good track there. That was pretty good.
And I was flying about full throttle, and as I came up on the road, I had to wait to see what cars were coming. So I backed off, but I rose up a little bit so I can keep a good.
I
keep
was
the
gonna
train in
say,
frame.
you're full throttle. I know you were practice. You were constant. I could see your sticks there. I could see your thought on the sticks as you were coming around that curve. You were concentrating an awful lot on the yaw
Mhm.
and you had full throttle over on your right hand.
Yeah,
And
I
you
had to
and
go
you
full
and you
throttle just to
and you
keep up with
kind
the
of
train.
overtook the train and dropped
Yeah.
it a little bit further down in the
Mhm.
shot.
Yeah. But the train was traveling about, I guess, about 25 miles per hour. Now, you see all those cars there? Those are the brand new cars that get shipped from overseas out of Port of LA and Long Beach, goes to this train yard, and they get shipped all across the country.
Yep.
So when you think you get a brand new car that ain't been touched, ain't been out in the sunlight, there you go. I got proof.
Oh yeah,
It's been sitting out there.
wrapped in shrink wrap.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of them have the white wrap on the top of the hoods and
Mhm.
and everything else. But yeah, they're out there sitting out there for about a couple of days before they can load them up on the train cars.
Paul's back.
Yeah.
Seeing his reflection.
Yep.
Didn't see
So I'm
anything
like
in
you,
his
Don,
hand.
that's the only time I do any kind of free flying, when I'm out already doing something,
Mhm.
and I say, okay, I got a little time on my hands. Let's do something else. Other than that, I'm like, I take my hat off to Joe and Johnny and the rest of the guys who just get up in the morning and says, let's go fly. I'm like,
Yeah.
everything in my mouth says, for what?
Uh-huh. And so
I'm starting to do that.
and I'm gonna have to come up with a project to get me out and use this thing, other than for work.
Yeah. Okay. Mr. Murray, did we come back with a Neo?
Yeah, we came back with a Neo, but it underperforms what I need. And so I'm gonna be getting rid of them.
Well, we all anticipate that
Yeah.
part of the report. I just want to make sure you came back with it.
Yeah. Y'all knew that a Neo is
Joe said he saw a guy on the screen waving at you, thought he might have got your Neo when it crashed.
Hey, Joe, when I go to remove do I have to have a battery in it and turned on or no?
I don't think so.
Or just plug it in?
Just plug it in. I think it worked.
Paul, what that Neo is for selfies, and the way you should use it is to put it up showing you flying your bigger drone.
Nah, that's too much work.
Yeah.
What
I'm saying.
What I'll do is I'll just blow it off to whoever wants it.
It's just a
It's not an old man drone, I'll tell you that.
well, it could be. It just really depends on what you have a use for it.
Plugged it in, it doesn't see it.
You got a battery in it?
No.
Might need a battery.
Does it have to be on or?
No, it doesn't have to be on.
Oh, okay.
I've always had a battery in it, but I don't know if you had to have one.
Michael says the SD card should read without battery plugged in, so he heard. But
Doesn't
one
have
battery,
SD card.
it doesn't. No SD card.
Internal.
It's just but you may need a battery in it. Throw a battery in it. What's that hurt?
I got a battery in it. Should I turn it on?
Yeah.
No.
Why not?
It'll want to take off.
No. No, you
Oh,
don't need it
takes
turned on.
It takes off automatically?
No. I just plug it in and it works.
Oh, okay. Oh, Joe's got one.
Yeah.
Oh, then I'll shut up and let Joe. He's an expert.
No, I'm
I'm
not.
just thinking on,
I said,
I don't know,
listen to nobody who
conjecture. Let's
says a
figure it out.
theory. Joe's an expert. He knows.
Yeah. Experience beats conjecture any day.
Yeah, I wouldn't have flew it around the ship. I haven't flown it over water yet either. Johnny flew it over water and he was going around the tugboat and it said ATTI mode as soon as he went around the tugboat.
Mm.
It tells you not to fly it over water.
Andre, Don.
Well,
Jim.
it also says don't fly it over water below 50 feet.
Well, you usually fly about what, 70, 80 feet, Paul?
Yeah, sometimes 100.
Mm-hmm. Because you're right there at the deck line of those ships most of the time.
it's not, oh, wait a minute.
It
Internal
takes a
storage.
second. You got an old computer.
If we're talking
And it
about,
should be an
you know,
update. Should be an update today.
Uh-oh, you shouldn't have told him that.
Yeah. Because if the goggles came out, they should have an update. I'll try later.
All right, so now that we
hi, Jonathan.
hey Mark, how you doing, man? Now that we have a new ruler, right? What does this mean for us? When I say us, I speak of people like me, Joe, Donald now, Mark. Matter of fact, all the code, everybody on the panel right now flies drones. So what is this gonna mean for us is what I want to know.
With drones?
Are they gonna run the band back at us? Are they gonna dead DJI drone? What does it mean for us?
I think that ban is going to stay in place and still try until DJI goes to court with this deal they got right now with Lynch. When they go in and when they get into court with it, I think then everything will start change when they have to bring out the evidence.
You talking about with the forced labor thing?
No,
that was talking about,
yeah.
I thought they cleared that up. I thought they cleared that up already.
No, the
No,
court
they
case,
didn't. They didn't
court
do it.
case is about the what's it, about the blacklist, not the custody.
Yeah, but the blacklist. So that's going to be a big plus. But the other guy that's pushing it is Tester up in Montana, and he looks like he's going to lose his race, so he won't be there.
So
we're gonna be all right.
It'll be interesting to see which politicians Bob Dempsey's arranged to come out to the.
You might have one that lost his race. What are you talking about?
Because they're coming out because of they're interested in the drones.
Well, when it comes to politics, I said it before. I said I don't do the political thing, but the only reason I can't even speak on it is because they messing with us with our drones. That's my only gripe with politics right now.
Yeah, I mean, apart from the court case and the customs thing, you're not going to find anything out now until January.
Right. Is customs finally cutting them loose? Are they letting them through, or they still?
No, they're still playing.
They're still playing.
Yeah, Bill the drone reviewer sent his Air 3S back because of that video stuttering, and they've told him that his new one is going to be coming from Canada.
Going to be coming from. I'm thinking that they might put it under the Spectra that's made in Malaysia. Maybe that'll clear it up. Is that possible?
That's not gonna clear it up either, because they've already said that that's part of that new bill had all subsidiary companies operating with DJI, so that was all thrown in there too. The new bill.
I can't figure out how to get it off here.
DCIM.
Well, the thing of it is, I plug it in and it says it detected it, and then it blanks out. It doesn't go anywhere.
You should be able to open up a folder. It should, if you go to my computer and you look at everything hooked to it, it should show up.
Where's my computer?
Well, you got to find out. See, I got a little. I can't remember where it's at.
You have like a little window, like a
Windows E. Windows E.
Yeah. Yeah, when I plug it in, it pops up. It came up and said, "What do you want to do with this?" I said, "Open all, always." And it just pops up, and then it just go to DCIM file.
Do I need to power it on?
No.
I never had to.
What's going on? They're still in the back of my fucking neck. Yeah. On both sides. Oh no, that's what I was gonna say. Okay.
Just you.
About to say, how in the hell did my logo get down there?
Well, the cameras follow me when I get up. Now it's getting me some heating my water up for my hot chocolate. It's a brisk 55 degrees today, so I need a little hot
Oh
chocolate.
Man. I gotta run to the tobacco store down the street, and hopefully they've got a St. Tammany Former newspaper, because the shot I had put in it this week has that parent, his son, almost blocking the kick, and he wants a copy of the newspaper, and he's on a bus. He drives a bus, so I'm gonna have to either go there or go to St. Tammany and get a couple of copies. Hopefully they'll still have some, and people didn't go out and buy the newspaper because of last night.
Paul's still there or not?
Yeah, he's looking at something. Evidently, it's not the pictures off the drone.
Paul, on your on your keyboard, the little picture of a window on one of the keys, press that down, and while that's pressed down, press E, and that should open up Windows Explorer.
He might have it now.
No,
Or is that the computer you've loaded Chrome on instead of Windows?
yeah, it's Chrome now.
Right.
Yeah, Southern California Edison threatened to turn off the power because we got high winds today.
Uh-huh.
They don't want to get blamed for nothing no more. So you can't sue us. We ain't got no power on.
Nope. I can't get it. It's going bye-bye. Even if it's in the trash truck, I don't give a shit.
Oh man.
Well, try plugging it into your other computer that's got Windows on it then.
Yeah, like I look. Let me that one again tomorrow.
No, all it does is charge the battery.
We'll do this. Turn it on and see what it does. Like I said, I never had to turn mine on.
You've still got the data cable plugged into it, you're not just the charging lead.
There's Mario.
It wants to fly. It's looking for a mode.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's not going to do anything unless you make it do something. Because the modes have nothing to do with getting it off the computer. Onto the computer.
Oh, crap. I should be able to get $100 for it, huh?
Paul, are you using the lead that came with it?
No.
Well, use the lead that came with it then.
Yeah, but where do I plug the lead that came with it in?
The lead that came with it, USB?
Yeah, USB, you plug it in. You remember you said you had to have that adapter?
Oh, yeah, it was USB.
Oh, USB-C.
Both ends, one.
Yeah, but he had an adapter for it.
Now you should have the C to regular USB.
USB-C to C.
Yeah, but you should have an adapter to go C to
A.
Yeah, he had one.
I don't know where it is.
Not still plugged in the back of the computer, is it?
I got one right here for you. Here you go. Okay, because when I plug it in, it's turned off and it pops up. It came up the first time it came up with a window that says, "What do you want to do with this drive?" I said, "Open always."
Yeah, if you're in a country where the stuff is pushed in, the place where you plug it in, it brings it down.
I would have thought that should still work with Chrome as well as with Windows.
It does.
But they're still setting fireworks off.
Hey y'all, I'm gonna jump off. I gotta go run and try to get that newspaper for that guy. He spent too much money for me not to get one.
Hey, Joe.
I'll see y'all
Take
sometime
care.
later.
See you later, Joe.
Well, if I hurry, the trash truck's gonna be coming by shortly,
Don't be silly.
and I got 2 of them.
It'll work, Paul. Just be patient.
Yeah, it'll work all right. Pieces.
It will. You know it will. It always does in the end.
Maybe your
Soon as
end,
they
my,
figure
my
out.
end, my end, always something goes wrong. Electronics and I do not get along.
Central. Central. I'm about to say something like I'm about to say the chicken shit, but no, Central. What was that about? They ready. Yeah. Work. Look, you like food, you don't have to worry about the
The Neo's got quick transfer on it, hasn't it?
Don't know. I can't get it to do anything on my computer.
No, quick transfer works on your phone. If you open the Fly app on your phone,
Yeah, I'm not showing any kind of connection to it.
yeah, right. The Neo switched on, isn't it?
No, it's off now.
Right. Well, switching Neo on. Open the Fly app on your phone.
I don't have the Fly app on my phone. I don't use the phone for anything.
All right. You're not got it on a tablet or anything either, no?
Nope. Don't use tablets. Don't use any of that stuff.
Okay, so you can't use quick transfer then. That's just wireless connection between the phone and the drone. You just have to try a different USB lead, because if it's not picking up the drone's drive, it sounds like it's just a charging lead and not a data lead.
Oh, there you go.
Doesn't make any difference which, whatever I plug it into, it doesn't do anything.
When you first flew it that first time you got one, the one you sent to David, did you not use the phone to control it?
No,
Oh.
Jonathan, you don't have the Neo?
no,
It must
Don
be-
doesn't have a Neo.
Okay.
Me,
No, I was asking Jonathan.
Jonathan.
I don't think Jonathan does either.
Okay. He must be away from his computer because I don't hear him responding.
Piece of shit. I don't think I need to have a battery in it.
No, it's like Joe says, he's never had to use a battery in it, so evidently there's a communication problem there between either the cord you're using or between your PC and the Neo itself, not having compatible systems to work together.
We got it to work last time, didn't we? We must have, because you uploaded a video to YouTube about it.
Yeah, somehow. But you know, when you get older, I can't remember yesterday, let alone today. And I had an adapter, but do you think I can find it? No,
You're not left it plugged into the back of the computer.
no, because the computer's sitting over there. I don't have anything plugged in the back of the computer. What I have is I have these little power brick stick things.
Mm-hmm. Well, have you got another USB-A to USB-C, like the one that you use with your other drones? Your Air 2S should have come with a lead. Is there not one in its case?
Let me look around here.
over there. See him right there?
You put it in the house? No. Oh, down there. The other one is cleaning up down there.
All the adapters I have are USB-C to USB-C. None of them have a regular. Oh,
Never thought how important the SDK slot would be in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
So they always think that everybody's on the same level of technology of the device they built.
Mm-hmm. But adapters are cheap and easy to get. So
Yeah, but it's just the frustration. It ain't about the
Yeah.
cost of getting an adapter, whatever. But when, like I said, you get it out the box, you think it's going to work as advertised, and when you plug it up, it doesn't work. And then you find out, oh, I need an adapter. Well, it didn't say you're going to need an adapter in the box.
true. But how many years did we also complain about trying to set the clocks on our VCRs?
Of course. 'Cause,
If you have technology, you have to live with whatever you buy.
And the most consistent reason why, Don, because nobody reads the manual.
Yeah, that's a pretty standard radio amateur phrase, that when all else fails, read the instructions.
That's it. Because the instructions are right there in the manual of the VCR. They're right there in the manual of the drone. They're right there in the manual. And just think, if we were still in that phase of VCRs, how many YouTube videos would be out there on how to set the clock on VCR? For each brand that came out. I mean, you talk about drone. VCR, you had everybody and their brother making VCRs. Or supposedly. I mean, everybody was putting out VCRs.
Well, everybody was putting their name on a VCR case.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, everything from cheap Emersons to Sony's, RCA's, Zenith, every brand name. You know, unless you had like a top tier Pioneer one or something. Then the folks say, ooh, you're getting fancy now.
Hmm.
I think the first VCR I bought still had the cable to the remote to it. Remote had a cable attached to the VCR.
Oh
That
yeah,
was like 1984.
I can still remember when Grundig was a big name in televisions and VCRs.
Mm-hmm. I think the first one I bought was a Zenith VCR. And the last one I bought was a Mitsubishi. And the only reason I wanted that because I had one of those big giant Mitsubishi big box widescreen TVs. And that sucker had the S video out along with the regular RCA out. So I thought I was high teching back then. I got S video cable.
Oh yeah. Hey, S video.
Wasn't a bad format. S video was pretty good.
Yeah.
Carried the sound and the picture all in one cable.
Most
Any
video
component,
cameras had them. Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime you could run component, you got a better signal.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have some component cables in here.
Yeah.
But yeah, S video, it should have been more popular.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as easy as RCA plugs.
No.
Actually, it was easier. But it was scary.
Technically it was, but people just know it was because the pins were so small and people had to climb back there and couldn't figure out how to line up the pins. It became
could
a
only
hassle.
go in one way.
You and I know that.
Yeah.
People
It was
tried to
scary.
couldn't line
It was, and people already had RCA cables from their stereos.
Right. Yeah. I remember I bought a floor model TV, RCA Color Track 2000, because it had a built-in amplifier. It had a 35-watt built-in amplifier, and on the back it had outputs for external speakers. And because I was always big into home theater, and I refused to buy a big screen TV until I got one that had amplifiers for external speakers.
Mm-hmm.
The first surround thing I bought was at a Radio Shack.
Mm-hmm.
I connected the external speakers off the RCA Color Track 2000 to this little box I bought at Radio Shack to give me surround sound. And that was back in 1989.
Yeah. Mind you, I mean, if the best things were actually still being used, we'd all be using Betamax.
Well, it was the best at the time.
It was better than VHS, but VHS was more popular.
You can thank the porn industry for that.
Well, I guess you took the words out of my mouth, Don. I said the porn industry tipped that scale.
Yep, it was cheaper.
It was cheaper, plus the video stores were more geared about VHS, and where did most porn get sold at? At the local video store.
But don't downplay VHS. VHS was a brilliant format. It was
I still got movies in my closet.
I just converted some. I just converted some of the home movies that we had on DV and on VHS.
Yeah, I still because I remember, when the kids were growing up, especially my first three, everything from all the Disney movies, Pixar movies back then were all coming on VHS, so I had a big collection of that. And then when some of the big ones came out, Hollywood ones would come out and get to a decent price. I remember back then you would pay almost $70-$80.
Oh yeah,
Hollywood movie, and I still was, like I said,
you go over to that Blockbuster when they were clearing out their stock and they were selling them for $5, and you could pick up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I still got a lot of movies, early Tom Cruise movies, The Firm. I think I still have Arnold Schwarzenegger's. What was the one he did when he was an undercover spy with Jamie Lee Curtis?
True Lies.
True Lies. Still have that on VHS, but that was still popular back then in the early 90s. I have a couple other ones, man. And like I say, same thing. I was slow to get on the DVD train because you had two formats in DVDs.
Yep.
That were battling.
DV dash R, DV plus R. Well, that was
Yeah.
the recordable side.
Yeah.
And you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the playback side had two DVEX or something like that. And I think Toshiba was behind one, and then Sony or somebody else was behind the other. In the DVD wars. And
I do
waited.
not remember. I remember
Yeah,
on the recording side of the wars on DVD.
Mhm.
But
But they were playback, and I think Best
we had
Buy
laser discs.
Best Buy was supporting both for a minute, and then they switched over to just the to one standard. Let me look it up.
I remember
real quick.
laser discs coming out, and
Yeah, well, Pioneer dominate the laser
Yeah.
discs. Yeah.
I thought it was Philips.
It might have been Philip, but I remember if you want a laser disc, you on the Pioneer system.
yeah,
I mean, I've still got my mini DVD video
I
camera.
remember my brother bought a full Pioneer component system with the Laserdisc player, and I'm sitting here. I was rocking all the piecemeal Kenwood here and a couple, So he bought a full component system, and I got some of his old shit. But he brought me in. We watched Top Gun, and he had the surround sound and the tracers
Yeah.
going off behind you. It was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, screaming about. I'm getting the kid out the cat. Look. Who did that?
All right, so let's get started.
Look, let me show you the big one that took
there.
forever.
My
I had to
background
wait
check.
for it to get shit. It's ready, ain't it? One lady, but what's this little one? If you're not, it's going to be you.
Yeah.
Oh, I can still remember sitting down, had a couple big oversized beanbag,
Get out of the way.
and he put in that Top Gun, and that first little bong. And
Yeah.
it's like
reading.
the intro music
I'm out
of
there
them
reading, my son.
on the carrier, and that music, that first little music hit,
Right.
just hit the chest, and it's like, oh, this is just that was a great.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a great movie or no, it was a great movie.
Well, like I say, those early days of surround sound. I mean, for me, I guess I've been into it forever, and from regular stereo equipment to home theater, that's my stuff. Yeah, the battle between Toshiba and Sony on the DVD stuff, and Sony won out. I'm trying to think, was that the Blu-ray fight, or maybe I think that might have been a Blu-ray fight on that. But either way, that's the reason I held off. Like my first DVD player was a Pioneer 525. Good little mid-budget player. It played the super CDs in the DVD format and stuff. So that I was kind of ticked off because I like being in music still. I was interested in getting that all-in-one player, which I had a Pioneer 45A DVD player, which also played the super CDs and stuff. But the super CDs, I think the market priced itself out of range too soon, and it never came down, and people were just not willing to pay that kind of money for it. Well, did you get your paper there, Joe?
Yeah, I got it.
Well, you're in the front of the sports section. Ooh, no, we can't see it. There you
Well,
nah, you know what? Just be still. There you go. Just for kicks. Nice title.
Yep.
Yeah, I even had my
Yeah, it's the front page.
Sony Mini
Hold on,
disc
hold on.
music player attached to
Yeah.
my surround sound.
Mini disc, or was that the
Yeah, the
DAC?
mini discs. The ones
So
that
they
look
had-
like a 3.5-inch floppy.
Right, right. I remember the mini disc, but I also remember that one format was called DAT. Remember that, Don?
Yes,
Uh,
we used to have
digital
DAT.
audio tape.
Digital audio
Yep,
tape.
we
Yeah.
had DAT drive for archiving. We didn't use it for audio. We were using it for
Yeah, I had a
archiving files.
I said I had a DAT drive on my computer.
Hmm.
Jonathan,
better?
can you hear me?
Still don't want to do it. There you go. He'll be happy. Stop walking at me. Okay, his son almost blocked the kick, so it was like the first shot, big shot on the paper. You got the front page.
Wait a minute. He almost blocked the kick.
Come very close.
You know what that means?
He didn't.
He didn't block the
He's the
kick.
first loser.
Either you blocked the kick or you didn't block the kick.
Yeah.
I'll
I say
show you.
blocking
I'll show
kicks
you.
is not like horseshoes.
Yeah, I know. But he's in the paper. That's all that counts.
Because if I saw that in the paper, the first thing I'm thinking, oh, he blocked the kick.
If he'd have blocked the kick, they'd have been 9-0. It looks a lot better in the paper there, Don. It's the picture to you.
Do
In the
what?
paper, it makes a difference in the paper. When I
Oh,
look
yeah.
at it, the cover and the front page like that,
Mhm.
because it takes up the whole front page, you know. So it's like, hey, that's picture to you. Put it in.
I promise you. Let it burn. Let it snow. Let it snow.
Jonathan.
Yeah. Oh shit. Hello.
Yeah, we've been listening to the whole conversation. Now, either you
What's
got
going
this young
on?
lady, put this young lady on the camera, unless it's your mother.
It is my mother.
Okay, now you all right then.
Oh my, I'm about to get in trouble if it wasn't you.
Here you go, Dre. Here's the
I still
picture.
been waiting to hear that girl that you had went on a walk with.
Jay said, put that woman on the camera unless it's your mother.
That's his son. It was that close to blocking it right there.
Yeah,
They thought I had they could hear the whole time.
That's
I thought I was
an awesome
running
pic.
around a female. So look, when I went back in, they said, "Hey, put that woman on there unless it's your mother."
Yeah, that's a great shot, Joe. But I mean, for that shot, you would have thought he blocked it.
I was hoping he blocked it. I didn't even notice he was there until I looked at it really close and realized that he was coming in right in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the dad's already said he wants
that's
him.
what coaches call selling out. You see
Yeah,
him?
he did.
He gave everything on that one.
His dad's already said he wants a 16 by 20 canvas front, a couple of them of that. And he's already spent almost $2,800 this year.
Wow. Is he the only child?
No, that him and his daughter, the daughter, they're a couple years apart. And with the daughter, they spent the same thing.
Oh, is that
They
right?
bought all the discs from him and everything else.
Right.
He's just-
I have pictures like that when I came up, and they're somewhere in the San Francisco Bay. That's all I know.
Yeah. See, that's why I keep copies backed up on clouds and everything. So
Well, I mean,
had
this is
somebody
back-
tell me
this
they
is
lost
back
their
in-
disc.
This is back in
Yeah.
1970, 78.
Yeah. I had somebody that said they lost their disc from like 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back and I copied it and said, here, I'll send them another one.
Yeah. You know, mine ended up there because of a young lady I was engaged to decided she didn't want to marry me. And she moved out of the house that she was in and left it to her brother or somebody. So I can only assume all my stuff. She had my Letterman jacket, had a bunch of all my awards, scrapbooks, everything, dude, just gone.
Yes.
And I talked to her about 3 or 4 years ago. I said, why didn't you at least just send it to my parents? And then she gave me this half-ass excuse. You know, I was young then and I wasn't thinking. I said, now you have denied me, but my grandchildren, history of their grandfather.
Yep.
And she's like, well, I'm sorry.
Like my little granddaughter looks up and say, you love me? She goes, no. I look at her and she goes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And then she'll laugh at me. Like, I'm just messing with you. I'm sorry. I'll tell her, you got a poo-poo butt? No. And I'll say, let me smell that thing. She comes over and says, I smell it. I'm sorry. Yeah, I tell you what, it's been 2 weeks now and I miss her.
Yeah.
I've seen her a couple times, but it's not the same.
But yeah,
That's not what you were saying 2 weeks ago, Joe.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, I'm glad to get rid of her. I needed my time back.
Yeah.
Now, I'll put it this way. I'll go over there and I can leave. It's not that she comes over here and stays, okay? So I'll go stop by and see her for a couple hour or something, and then I'll leave. But if she gets dropped off here, she's here for 6 hours. You know?
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
I was gonna say the Cool Cat, you asked about question mark about digital audio tape. Yeah, digital audio tape came out around the late 90s, I would say, to the consumer level. And it was, like I say, it was digital audio tape, high resolution audio tape, very good. Sony was one of the backers of it, but it just didn't catch on with the masses consumers. It was used in a lot of Don could probably a lot of studio work, things of that nature, where it was used mainly, but it just didn't catch on with consumers. But it was an excellent format.
The money footprints all over my deck too.
But getting back to you, Jonathan, whatever happened to your little walking buddy?
My walking buddy?
Yeah. I ain't talking about the dog or the cat.
Oh, you talking about the cat?
No, I'm talking about the young lady.
I thought you were talking about this guy.
The girl.
No, you know who I'm talking about.
You talking about that girl you're walking with.
Oh, you know who they talking about? Pink. They must be on saw Pink on. Big brother likes to lost his mind. He told himself, buy a ticket. Come on. Ooh, Joe, man, what we gonna do, man?
What we gonna do about what?
The bird.
About the batteries?
The bird. The bird, the Air 3S.
Oh, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting the Air 3S.
Yeah, okay. Donald. What Donald? What we gonna do, man? Because for what I'm seeing, they still ain't like letting and consumers get it. They ain't came across the customs yet.
I cannot hear you. It was something about not being able to get my drone. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, the Air 3S customs hasn't cut them loose yet. So unless you pull a slick Willie.
From what I understand, individuals were getting them, but if you're ordering multiples, you were not.
Yeah, retailers are not getting. Retailers and resellers are not getting them.
Oh, but you can get it straight from DJI.
Yeah,
and then
individual order.
Yeah,
and it'll come through.
Well, Bill, the drone reviewer, sent his back because of a problem, and they've told him that they're sending him a new one, but it'll be coming from Canada.
11:30. Okay.
To avoid coming in through customs from China.
Okay, so they're using a different outlet then.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the baby.
Baby girl. Who woke people up
Little
last
one.
night? Yeah.
Little one, get away from that stranger. Did your mama tell you don't mess with strangers? Scream, holler. Punch him in the nose.
Who's your favorite grandpa? Grandpa, your favorite? You've got a dirty face. You need a clean face. You're filthy. Looks like you're covered in graham cracker.
Look, she's trying to head away from me like it ain't our time yet. You need to put me back to mama. Ain't our time yet.
All right. Well, I got. I will keep.
Spoke to her this morning.
John, I will keep you appraised as if things get caught up in customs, but hopefully I will be part of the Air 3S Army. But
Air Brigade, Air 2S Army, Air Brigade, yeah.
Air Brigade, whatever it is. I don't know. As long as I don't get called up.
That's unlikely.
But they're estimating delivery by the end of day Friday. So that means this weekend we'll be getting it registered and going in and checking all the settings and stuff, and then maybe Sunday going out and flying it.
Yeah, setting all your
because
gain.
it's raining Saturday.
Changing all the gain and expo settings.
Yeah, settings.
But
controller mode.
Yeah.
Spending an hour and a half doing all the updates.
Yeah, that'll burn your first battery.
Yep, but I gotta go. I got the baby to watch, and I got a boy getting off a bus here in a few minutes. So
later, man. Be good.
Later.
Bye, little one.
Bye.
Did she say bye? I swear I heard her just say
No,
bye.
she just said she went ah.
Nah, she said bye.
She thinks I'm
This is
funny.
YouTube. This is YouTube. We can make it sound like what it want to be. She said bye.
It definitely sounded like bye.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh man.
John may have been doing a bucket.
The who?
Like Arch with his bucket, he might have been doing a ventriloquist.
Don't
go
there. No, it didn't sound anything like fisheye.
I don't know about y'all. We got rain here in Georgia on the day.
You got a dodgy signal at times as well, Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, every now and again you get a breakup.
What's up, man? What you want? What you want?
All right, folks. I gotta go
All
pretend.
right,
I have
fellas,
work.
we gonna go ahead, Audrey.
No, honestly, I gotta get out, go do some work. That's all.
Yeah, I'm about to bounce through. Today's Mike's birthday, y'all. He ain't feeling it, but it is his birthday.
Well, I tell Mike,
Happy
don't get
birthday.
off, man.
Happy birthday.
Should appreciate it. Hopefully we can cheer him up for the day ends. Y'all have a good one, man. See y'all this
everybody.
evening.
Everybody, we'll see you all later.
Later.
Bye for now.
Peace.